Is it working? I don't know if it's working or not. Yeah, it is. Okay, hello, welcome. Yeah, don't mind that.
자, 불 뜯을 시간이다. 자,
의로움을 세우기 위해
언제든지요.
Don't mind that. I don't need that right now.
고래를 향해 고래를
언제든
수급
말.
각청
어디 가는지는 관심 없어. 안내나 해줘.
각청 고래를
언제든
수금할 시간이야. 각청 고래를
언제든
수금
말뚝을.
어디 가는지는
라만 차량들을 뒤엎는다.
Just prepping. Once we left the bus. Oh man, can't believe we had to get off the bus here. We had to make a formal claim against H Corp for this crap. What the hell were they thinking doing shoddy construction work at the edge of the highway that leads straight into the nest? Many causes there may be such construction projects, yet perhaps an early warning sign here our approach to the site would have been a sensible Ooh, what's happening to you, son? Were it not for you, young Karen's valiant drifting back, I shudder to even imagine the terrible possibilities. It would have been most awful to an adventure. Awful end to an adventure. There's no surprise that the sinners all had a piece of their mind to speak. As we drove up to the entryway, we unexpectedly came across a mess of badly put together steel plates blocking our path in the middle of the road. Karen quickly spun the bus around, which meant that everyone ended up being thrown about like ragdolls. Good thing there was another road off the highway that leads into the city, right? I bet Karen would have tried to reverse the gear all the way back to the last interchange. Well, looks like we'll be going through all these winding alleyways to get to the nest. It's so dark in here. We were greeted by a dark street upon disembarking from the bus, illuminated only by a faint strands of lights. It was immediately obvious that we found ourselves in the back streets of 8th Court. Looked pretty impressive from the outside, but it's no different from the other back streets inside. Yep, it's a familiar sight. Gotta say, it's getting real old. IRC is the nest of this district, shrouded in such darkness as well. No, these particular sites are limited to the back streets of District 8. The back streets of districts were very different from the other ones we visited in the past. People hurrying through the streets as though they were being chased by something. People scaling and glaring at the ground with some sickness or discomfort seems all too common in every corner of the city. This was one thing about this place. There was one thing about this place that stood out from the other districts. However, they kind of remind me of the former G Corp soldiers back in District 4. What? What do you mean? You mean those fellas? Growths on their flesh appeared too organic to be prosthetics. Some of them had odd protrusions, nodules bulging from their skin as well. Not at all miniature, but look, they haven't mutated in the same pattern like into an insectoid form, for example. Well, I guess I should commend you for not looking at them through a biased lens. You observing the aftermath of District 8's distinctive method of treatment? Oh, so this is where the rumors about that bluish healing ointment came from, huh? Apparently they can cure any flesh wound after just one night dressed in bandages. Seems they are selling misconceptions must be addressed. They are the variations of A-Corp's singularity, the bolus. The bolus? She is likely referring to the medicines brewed and kneaded into ball-shaped pills. Correct. H-Corp or the Hongwen Bioengineering Group mainly manufactures boluses that contain essence treatments. The boluses may be taken orally, ground with water into a paste, or applied directly to the affected area, or dissolved in water. soaked into bandages, wrapped around the necessary area for treatment. I guess rumors transform as they travel. Oh, I see. I was just thinking about how they do the things back at the K Corp. Focus of K Corp's technology is the reversal or recovery of one's condition. Turning to the original state is the key word in their treatment. It is no sight to find unique techniques and technology developed independently by the inhabitants of backstreets of District A using the manufactured boluses. The treatments are not individually customized for each patient. Instead, they focus on selecting the appropriate technique for a myriad of choices to address the defiances in their statuses. Perhaps one could choose the words transformation or evolution as more illustrative descriptor for the method of treatment. So that's what's counted as treatment. Crouch Sinclair was quoted as certainly appeared unhurt, as none of them were bleeding or walking with a limp, but many of them appeared dazed, staring blankly at nothing or scratching absently minded at their mutated parts. They must be regulars. Unexpectedly, we found our answer not from Foss and from Mercer, but from Hong Lu. Regulars? Yes, I heard of them as a child, people who've grown into accustomed to visiting the clinics in search of their mystical treatments. The regulars might appear more intimidating than most people at first glance, but apparently all the side effects they have been stacking changes them in weird ways. How? It is highly that inter-operation conflicts or issues that will arise when applying highly desperate treatment methods to a single body. At least cheaper alternative for people who didn't sign up for the life insurance. You speak of life insurance? Yes, life insurance. The special insurance option to bring the client back to life upon the events of their death. That's a unique one. So the irony isn't lost on me, but I thought resurrecting people was one of the head's taboos. The head does not consider the revival via life insurance to be a violation of their non-resurrecting taboo. It is likely that on a technical level, survival is actually categorized as brain resection, as opposed to a full resurrection degradation of its functioning status, of course. Another fatal downside to this technology is that, unlike the manager's clock winding, the scepter cannot be brought back if their brain is destroyed. Also, there's a risk of significant losses in the process of information transference. Losses, huh? So maybe some of the mutations could be more than just the side effects of these treatments. Maybe I heard it takes more than 1 or 2 revivals to change that much. And since apparently people in the backstreets could never even dream of paying consistent insurance renewal rates, so after all, who would sign up for the insurance if using its service could reduce them to such pitiful states? Yeah, they appear pathetic and pitiful to you rich bastards, don't they? You'll still be in the same boat as them, so say some pity for yourself. Identify yourself. Stranger's voice cut through our discussion like a foreign instrument. Showed on to find a large group of people who are clearly up to no good. You must be the young master of that high and mighty Chia family, eh? I could tell by just looking at your pretty face. Friends, Honglu? No, I haven't had much chance to get acquainted with people from the backstreets, so no, I never met them before. Of course you haven't. Too busy living large, playing gods in a whole different world. Boss plebs, huh? Not that it matters, we're just here to take the thing you brought here for submission to the family hierarchy evaluation. The what evaluation? It's been clearly been a misunderstanding. And quite a lot of them. We're not off to a good start. No. Actually, no. It'd be a violation of our office core values to jump them like we're some common thugs. I, Shen, third son of the Triax office, challenge the value of your family to a duel. I wager it will be the winner. Take anything they want from the loser. What do you mean a duel? Duel? I've heard tell that duels of the oh my god, there's gonna be a lot there. The Honorable Fixers Association in Easter Branch announced their intent to duel by stating their affiliation and name. Instead of casting their gauntlets and the pamphlet that young Ishmael had presented before me earlier, present that the truth that the Triad's office is indeed an office of the East, though they are indeed a lesser quality, test the true, genuine, accurate declaration of the duel that we behold. So it's just a fancy way of saying 1v1 me, let's go, innit? I mean, this guy doesn't look too tough. What do you think, Foss? I agree, this individual does not seem to possess any particular skill that, any particularly exceptional skill that may pose difficulties for Hong Lo. I think it's going to be okay. I'll be back in a minute, Dante. Are you sure this is okay? I don't think you're going to lose against him, but, you know, just in case. Anyways, I have some childhood experience with duels myself. I've done about 10 of them, I think. Outside of Ridgway's dabbled in some duels, has he? I think you misunderstand. I'm going to say that I've done about 10 of them a day. But Grandma does sometimes let me skip them, so... It might have been slightly fewer than that on some days. Well, what? I hung with Limbus Company? No. I value of the GF family, except this duel. Value. Hong Lu stepped forward confidently as the opponent was processing what he just heard. For a moment, Hong Lu stood there in a stance that did not express even a hint of aggression, but curiously cocking his head to the side. I'm sorry, are we waiting for something? So I always let the opponent get the first 2 moves in duels. Please, don't hesitate. Let me, you little. His Shikaki pride shall be your downfall. The man introduced himself as Shantin led towards Hong Lu, then after about a minute, how is this happening? Like Shan-san, who was throwing punches and swings with boiling hot passion, Hong Lu was effortlessly guiding about his opponent's strikes like he was in a picnic. As though this was but a leisurely stroll through a garden. Whenever Shan-san threw a powerful punch, Hong Lu redirected it to the side with ease, the fist only grazing his clothes. We were mesmerized by the feathery light movements of his hands and feet that effortlessly glided through the air until after one blink and you'll miss a moment, you realize that Shan-san was already face down to the ground, defeated. Oh, young Hong Lu has just been concealing thy full strength in our presence. I know, I want to say that I always put my all into every fight. Yet to defeat this foe so soundly, to dance with such grace between his strikes, it was as though we were dueling someone whose skill may only measure against a child's. But most of our fights happen in environments with a lot of variables, and we usually fight against enemies with all kinds of unexpected weapons and powers. You read him? Already familiar with that fool's move? Yes, one of many BO instructors use similar techniques as this gentleman here. Practice makes perfect, and perfection makes an expert, right? Fuhu? Right, but I'm not sure if that's entirely relevant here. Johnson. Well, anyways, looks to me that he's soundly kicked your behind in this duel. Got us too, why don't you? And preferably, not do the thing I think you're about to do. This duel wasn't overseen by a notary office anyway. And our employer's not gonna let this failure slide if you just leave. Hey, don't just sit there, move your asses and jump them. Pathetic. I kinda see how we're becoming experts at getting jumped. But the bitter cry of the defeated, his gang rushed toward us. Well, there's gonna be a new sign. This looks nice though.
싸울 준비는 끝났을까? 무엇을 그렇게 깝깝하게 쳐다만 보고 있고 그런다냐?
It seemed worth my time, so I'm just gonna see this. 11, 27, 49. Yeah, this is nice. Ooh.
클립부터 기력을 좁히던 어디까지 가고 있을지 내가 말하지?
Nice. 6, 9, 12, 15. Alright, 16, 16. Uh-oh, that's just not Ryoshu. Okay, this is gonna end soon anyway. Is there any more?
이걸로 직원들의 목숨이
No, just gotta do that. Dead.
멀쩡한 장비가 남아 있어.
Okay.
짜게 갖다 써야지.
7, 30, and dead.
제약 계획의 규모가
이번에도
너무 큰거
잘해줬어.
아니야?
Yeah, what isn't that hard?
유익한
적당히
책이 또 하나
쉬엄쉬엄해도 괜찮을
늘었네.
텐데.
도시에는 내가 모르는 것들이
I'm
많아.
gonna check out what these guys are using. Hold on. Oh, I didn't realize you came back. What's good? Not good. Just came back from physical therapy. What did you do in physical therapy? Oh, I didn't read that part. There really isn't great stuff, fellas. It's never easy, is it? Hey, at least we got a nice warm up. It wasn't all that bad. I don't know. This seems more serious than our usual street brawls. Ishmael's right. They weren't your everyday thugs who pick fights with random people for no good reason. They were contacted by someone to specifically target and eliminate Honglu. And given how they were about their intent, calling it a contract, it doesn't seem like whoever gave the contract was exactly going for subtlety. That's why. Oh wait, I only have 1 hour left for like training a lull because sometimes I don't really walk normally. Oh, also got my ass beat by Donga. Oh yeah. What team do you have? Wait, what console are you on right now? Like, I could probably give you my IDs to help. Or do you have any others? And given how they were about their intent, calling it a contract, it doesn't seem like whoever gave the contract was exactly going for subtlety. And maybe this is what Zazi-chan was talking about back, way back when she mentioned, so having as errors. Whoever's behind this must have a bone to pick with Hong Liu. Indeed, it seems that we must expect more skirmishes like this going forward. Count to 4. Your friend thankfully helped you with Dongrek. Count to 4. So not the 4. Alas, was this trial not really overcome? Not the point. Think on it like a little more. Seems like they're assuming that Hong Lu's brought something here in order to participate in that family hierarchy evaluation. And there's no reason to assume that we've seen the last of them. They're going to try again to take out the competition. A highly accurate assessment of the situation by the executive manager. I expected no less from someone of your genius. I'm going for the classics of brown nosing today. This. Since was it brown nosing to compliment a job well done? Do you not expect? This inane conversation is most riveting, but I would prefer some silence while we wait. It seems that the company foresaw such difficulties they've sent you a support team to help handle this issue. We heard voices coming from behind us from where Virgilius was pointed. My, you guys still haven't learned how to stick to the plan, have you? It really threw me off when I was told to meet you at some backsheets location, away from our rendezvous point. Familiar voice, a voice we cannot forget. Oh my god! It's you again! Oh! It's nice to see you again. Been a while, everyone. Yes, I'm getting Temple Soul. I have 235 thread for him, but I think I went overboard. Okay. Hi, I'm here too. Yeah. It's nice to see those people again. We turned around to follow where the voices were coming from and recognized the two people we've been hoping to see again. It's nice to see them again. Do you? Okay, don't need to know that. A guide. 1 hour left. Not enough. Should I gamble to get this Sinclair or not? Should I gamble to get the Sinclair or not? Maybe. Yeah, I got money. 4. That's new one. New one. Same. Okay. I mean, I got some new ideas, but that's it. I need more egos. I can't just keep getting this. Nocturnal sweeping. Yeah, it was just all 2 stars. Not that. Oh! I'm so sorry. I didn't think. Forgot you couldn't hear it. Forgot you couldn't hear the audio. My bad. It's Assad? And hey, pilot, right? You're. What's wrong? It's like you're all seeing a ghost. At a ghost. Well, didn't you tell me you shared my news with them last time? I did. I sure did. And ma'am. Oh yeah, he did. Citizens each recovered from their initial shock of seeing them again. Unsoothed, their faces began to bloom with relief smiles. Well, good to see things haven't changed much around here. Sod, we're so glad to see you. You're okay. TikTok to you too. Glad to see your gears are just turning fine. Thought smiled with a familiar grin. She did not seem to change much since the last time we met, save for a few minor differences. Her outfit and her badge, for example. Lester Call, you were promoted. Yes, allow me to congratulate you. Yeah, haha. Over the hints of melancholy hanging from her smile and flickering in her eyes. Hey, I'm really congratulating her on her promotion and offering her recognition of her excellent accomplishments. I don't see what your problem is here, but we all know the meaning that promotion carries. Indeed, it is very profound. After all, what meaning is there to promotion attained without spilling some blood? You're a real place of work. Let me ask you something then. Everyone behaves like you do around here, tiptoeing around the facts, keeping it hush-hush about what happened, or is she going to get the bare minimum of the recognition and the consolation she deserves? Hush-hush would have been nice. I even overheard that some of them whisper that I let my partner die just so I could snag promotion. So in that regard, I appreciate that, Otis. If we're being technical, I did die except my brain was intact, not even K-Course regenerative. I feel it could have revived me if it wasn't. Then did Effie also? I mean, apparently they went right for Effie's head when they stabbed him, or prosthetic. According to the coroner's autopsy, K-Course ampules life insurance due to them can revive someone with a damaged brain. It is what it is. Anyways, let's not dwell on the depressing stuff. We're here for work, let's get some work done, so let's talk about work. Okay, pilot? Yes ma'am. Well, let's see here. Coincidentally, I happen to make have to make friends with a fella. Ties to the Geo family, so I brought him over. Silence. Hey, is that everything? Yes, a briefing. Oh. Just as everyone was reeling in the stunned silence at the least informative, least helpful briefing we had the pleasure of sitting through. Richmond was the first to catch us out. She looked at Sod. Sod, can we rely on you for some elaboration here? The briefing was a good demonstration of the necessary educating of the 5 W's and 1 H principle. Looks like we have a lot to discuss on once we get back, pilots. Did I do something wrong? Shh, brother. Let's just stop. You're digging yourself a deeper hole with every word. Gregor quickly leaned in to warn Pilot, but it was likely too late. Nigh a noticeable breeze Had already formed between Sod, Rouse. Prior to committing the high priority operation, it was necessary to find us individuals to find individuals connected to the H Corp. So we are the preliminary observation unit. We were put to tasks, and we managed to establish a connection with an individual. Ooh, someone from my family? No, we tried, but your family proved to be rather difficult nut to crack. However, as we were wasting our precious time with all our leads, Pilot pursued an unconventional method to establish a connection. I really didn't hold back on compliments then, and this is how you... Our collaborator is a former employee of the GF family. After leaving the family, he now runs a lodging business. It is likely that he is far removed from the family politics. Less motivation for him to attack us due to conflicting interests. Yes, and according to Pilot's report, he still regards GF family positively. How could I not, considering the blessings they have given me? An unfamiliar voice butted into the conversation as though to consider Sod's explanations. I humbly present myself before the fellowship of young Master Bayer. Please call me Xing Tao. He greeted us most polite for bringing his hands together in an odd mention. Oh, is this how people greet each other here? It's cut the Balquan gesture, bringing fist and palm together to express respect and peace toward the receiver. Ah, nice to greet one another by shaking their hand for their self-same purpose. Forsooth, no art, and indeed one possessed for a chivalrous spirit. Indeed, much did I worry about the qualities of people young Metz has surrounded himself with, but I see that he's a company of those wise in the ways of the West. I prostrate myself before the vast depth of your knowledge. What grand generosity it is to open ajar the waterways of wisdom, quench my barren lands. Something feels familiar about this. She's been getting less and less verbose with bootlicking these days. Not like this guy, for sure. Actually, he's kind of like, how should I put this? A bit much. What are you guys talking about? Communication only by the sound of ticking clock. Sound of a ticking clock. This is something I already known ahead of time, yet what a most curious strength to behold in person. Worth the shooting may be, yet I shall find myself thoroughly entertained by its entirety. Maybe it's a subtle sprinkle of disrespect that reminds you of the usual flavor. Wait, is this about me, you dare? Ahem. Was all that blinking she did supposed to be a source of pride for her or something? Oda shook her head with clear distaste and strode toward me. We were nothing alike as the executive manager. Never have I once said such empty flattery in your presence. Fluid with nothing but hot air and simple letters. I'll leave the guidance of the backstreets to him. Well, looks like this is where. Sodus felt silent, her eyes lingering on Virgilius, who stood somewhat apart from the rest of us. So I finally get to meet the Red Gaze in the flesh. I've been looking forward to this day for a long time. Effie would have loved to be here, and the manager. Virgilius seemed to sense her lingering gaze and walked toward us, after nodding slightly in a direction. Manager Sod. Let's not make this any longer than it has to be. I'm happy to be helping you with your businesses, but I'd much rather put this behind me as soon as possible. Oh please, it's a historic first collaborative operation, isn't it? Can't you spare a little more time with us? The guide's bud is actually doing something to that guy? Yes, unfortunately LPC has our own business to take care of today, so I won't be accompanying the LCB this time. And the Red Guys will be helping us out to get it done. Take him out there, room. And maybe it's not that unfortunate now that I think about it. I feel like every mission with the LCB has always been an uphill battle to get anything done. Well, as you see, back then we were just messing with you. I'm sure we'll have another chance to work together again. Boss, we don't got much time. Wait, before you go, I think you owe us some explanation, Virgilius. I will take the details to Miss Foss. I'll leave the I'm quite very well. Virgilius turned around and left toward Mephistolius with an oddly disgruntled expression. Well then, I'll see you around. Next time, I'll show you that I can carry my own weight. You know, oh boy, the last time we met, I really was so darn pathetic. Pilot, competence is shown through action, not words. Stod and Pilot gave us a light nod before following Virgilius. And some sinners opened their mouths to speak, hesitated, and then closed them again. We'll let them go without a word. Perhaps we didn't know what we could say to them to make this not an awkward farewell. Farewell, please, this way. Maybe we were simply mindful of this guy who was responsible for the quality of our stay. Okay. Well, I'm getting used to it now. Now it's worth fighting. Now I should really start upgrading my guys. Hold on.
아, 간만에 바깥 공기.
어때? 끝내주게 강하고 믿을 수.
Okay, time to upgrade my assault. Who else should I upgrade? I upgraded the team I'm using. I could save us for Shard for Hong Lu, but who knows? Plus, I really got support. I'll just save it.
오늘따라 별이
Thank you.
언제나 댓글 하나 없는 끝은 오늘따라
Okay. Can't believe that's a waste of that. Oh well.
이번에 읽어줄 동화책.
I've gotta hurry with this.
이것으로.
도시에선 저런 형태로 사람을
그대는
강화하기도
어디까지
하나.
가고 있을지.
제압 계획의 규모가 너무 큰 거 아니야? 적당히 쉬엄쉬엄해도 괜찮을 텐데.
대선
난 너희가
절침
좀 더 어설플 거라고 생각했거든.
트랜지션 임상시험 성공.
How's this thing that hard?
그래도
무뭉쳐
여기까지 와서 망설일 생각은 하지 않았으면 좋겠어. 사람을 죽이고 싶지 않았다면 너희도 세피로도 처음부터 거래를 하지 말았어야지.
짠지.
Damn.
예
옛날에 외부 강사로 뛰던 느낌. 한 놈만 잡아줘야겠고. 이때를 다 쓸어버렸구나.
무기를 만드는
이런 제약은 회사에겐 효율적일지는 몰라도 직원들의 기분을 항상 돋다리는 그 희생을 값싼 대가로 여기는 게 아니라는 항상 제 제압에 너무 집중해.
Alright.
이곳의 목적이 그런 게 아니라는 건 관리자님도 알고 있잖아.
Now fast, just hurry up.
지식에
Okay.
아비 교환.
무기를 만드는 것만큼 내가 어머니보다 뛰어났지.
I guess have fun with that.
산초류 경혈 라샹
34, 82, 144, and almost.
담배 차서. 만취할 줄 알았으면 빨리 좀 하지 그러니까.
날 뛰어보라고.
I ran out of ammo.
이게 팀에서 다 망가뜨린 줄 알았는데 멀쩡한 장비가 나와 있었나 봐.
이게 심장이 지리를
이번에도 멋지게 해냈네. 엔젤라님에게 잔뜩 칭찬을 들었겠어?
Did you know that lemon
당신의
floats
로고는
and lime
이곳을 더
sinks?
멋지게
No, I did not.
바꾸는데 일조할 거예요. 같은 그럴듯한
Thank you for the information. I did not know that.
근육이 신나서 날뛰는 건 더 해치울 거 없어?
Very hot in my room now.
말뚝을
고래를 수금할 수
어디 가나?
언제든지요.
제압 명령 지역으로 이동.
Heat presentiment ought to be washed away. For one the far one cons, betwixt the burnt doors shall a star fall astray. Sure we're going the right way? I like the sound of these weird songs. Missions are most likely aiming with those seeking to bring harm to the young master. We must venture in an alternative path. And like you said, there wasn't any skirmishes once we made it deeper into the dark alleyways. The lack of foot traffic would normally be pretty unsettling, but I guess that's what we needed at this moment. As for the song, it's a song that becomes rather popular in the backstreets in this recent months. The lyrics are pretty ominous for a popular song. It is a song that spreads through word of mouth. It sings of how annihilated, the annihilated Kong family. That is not the place to discuss such matters. I will share the tale in a more appropriate setting later, should we come across it. Didn't know there was a song like that. Is this the first time you ever heard of it too, Honglu? Because he's a posh kid for a posh family. I doubt he's ever set special feet backstreet, so it's no wonder he's never heard of anything like it. I have been to the backstreets before, but Heathcliff isn't wrong. I did spend most of my time in my room. That is precisely because you were treasured one of all of them all. Yeah, Master, much like how the jade of the greatest worth is to be cherished, prized, and hidden in the deepest depths of what coffers where none shall reach. Ooh, okay. I'm like him. To be a less degree, particularly as of late. So that guy used to work for the Jia family, huh? Do you know him, Honglu? Young master, is there something on my face? Ah. Honglu stopped himself as though a thought flashed in his head, and glanced quietly in my direction. Then, it's nothing. Shall we continue walking down this road? Indeed, humble as I may be, I am very well versed in the roads of this area. Hung shook his head at me as he casually changed the subject. It was as though he was trying to hide something we know from Wang Tao. Should we be suspicious of something? He's collaborated, but only a temporary one. A degree of caution would be advisable. Given pilot's clear experience in naivety, we would do well to remain suspicious of this character. Floss didn't notice approached me as Honglu was nodding along and chatting amicably with our guide. While looking back at our journey so far. Hold on. I think we learned our lesson about blindly trusting every collaborator we come across. With this growing mistrust in mind, I slowly made my distance from the guide before asking Foz the burning question. So what was that about back there with Vigilius? Something about him going off to help them out. The consequences of his actions at Wuthering Heights. Oh, would he, fuck. Oh. His actions were a violation of one of the more important items in this contract of the company. He's simply taking the responsibility for the breach of contract. I think back to the incidents at the manor. It feels like such a long time now. This kind of a bummer. He really helped us out of a pickle. What? That's what they're dragging him away for? Is there a problem? I guess. It's nothing at all. No problem at all. Are we sure? That's you, idiot. Miss Hutt, can you carry Heath for a little bit? He's dead tired. It will be done. Heathcliff, punched in the gut by the hilt of Ryoshi's sword, fell forward right into Marcel's welcoming shoulders. Raja, you know the kind of person I hate the most? The kind of dull people who can't read the room. Don't you feel the same way, Dante? Yep. I nodded enthusiastically as something seemed to imply that she wasn't really asking me a question. I don't think she was about to punch my lights out, but Radian and Ryoshi judged correctly this time. Classified company information must not be discussed in this presence of an outsider. But the other time he got knocked out cold for a while because he kept asking questions without raising his hands. This guy just doesn't learn, huh? He successfully preserved the secrecy of classified information without spilling blood. I applaud the policy. I did good, didn't I? I'm just not a fan of how they're treating Heathcliff like dirt now. It is no problem, as you say, that is well done. Well, indeed. Yeah, I worry that it appears that a problem has found us anyway. I stopped and looked around and realized that we were surrounded by a group of people wielding various weapons in their hands. What happened to finding us a safer path? It's likely that my guidance has indeed given us a much safer path from more obvious skirmishes. However, to my great regret, the more observant of our enemies have tracked us here. Damn it, then what are you waiting even here for? Isn't our job to prevent this exact scenario? Let's leave the finger pointing for later. Well, we're going to have to take them all down. They must not be allowed to disseminate our current location. Exactly, where are you seeking off to, King Tao? I must regrettably and humbly say that my talents in war are terribly lacking, so I intend to become a sketchman. Yet I have the utmost faith in strengths of our young master and the honored guest in overcoming the adversity, so... King Tao was already standing so far away from the front lines that he was practically hiding behind me. Foss, anything you could tell us about these enemies? No, but a consultation of the Yosha seems necessary. If we're determined whether negotiating with them is an option. They're coming. Well, Yosha, wake Heathcliff up and set him down. It will be done. My thought doesn't hurt that much when I read it more. Okay.
조선은 필요
도시에서는 누구도 자유롭지 못해. 딱 저승인이라고 예의가 있지.
Okay.
놀랐지. 안돼 괜찮아. 만치 할줄
Damn.
알았으면 빨리 좀 하지 그랬냐.
불가 위야. 나가내지.
That shouldn't take that long.
난 먼저 좀 더 어설플 거라고 생각했거든.
잠깐짜리 땡기
Okay, dead.
있는 맛이 있느냐?
Dead. How many are there? These are the last ones. Close.
태어난 곳은 돌아.
Nice, hit them all. Okay. Damn.
이제 이것은 부지하게 갖다 써야지. 별로 어려울 거.
Okay, almost down. Ow. Almost down. Stagger.
저 활활 타는 마음도 오래 가지 못했고
Oh, okay. 16, 59, and dead.
매뉴얼을 만들어두길 잘했네. 그렇게만 해.
Bam, stagger.
대성턱이
Dead.
신기동에서 다방
Dead.
줬는데 이번에도 멋지게 해냈네. 엔젤라님에게 잔뜩 칭찬을 들었겠어?
Not that hard.
당신의 노고는 이곳을 좀 더 멋지게 바...
Hostiles in the immediate vicinity have been eliminated. Our collaborators who have been hiding from the battle, far from the battle, quickly ran up to our side as soon as the fight ended. Are you unhurt, young master? Yep, I'm totally fine. Of course, our guest martial skills were exceptionally brilliant, but young master, your light was the brightest. Even among the incandescents, his humble servant could not hold back his tears. At the wondrous sight to witness such an excellent martial arts from none other than young master himself. What an unexpected surprise! But does the children of the Zep family undergo all kind of strict training from regiments from childhood? It was simply by something that young master has ceased his training once he departed with the family. Anyways, how do you think they tracked us down anyway? It appears that we were exactly tracked down. Perhaps it was mainly the Eric who lurk in these parts of the backstreets recognized the young master's venerable countenance. I don't think my face is that well known. The family hierarchy evolutions are nigh. I was still living in a Hangwan must know the face of the master who is loved by every elder of the family. It must be that they are under the assumption that you are carrying something of great value. Family hierarchy, huh? Well, didn't Zazi-chan say something about heirs back then? They all assumed wrong then. I didn't bring any precious that the elders must be looking for. Young master, even now, I just couldn't care less about it. That's all. Besides, many of my siblings are better fit to be the family hierarch than I am. Oh, that is indeed a relief. Relief it is. Well, of course. But of course, it is highly dangerous endeavor to protect in the hierarch evaluation. So, it's a great relief to know that young master is not putting himself in unnecessary danger. I guess that could be relief, sort of. So now that we took them all down, there shouldn't be any more on the way, right? Greg, can we not jinx ourselves for 1 second? 1 Why are you laughing for, Yoshu? Now I'm worried. Please do not concern yourselves any further. You'll take more on this distant path. I guarantee a safe and easy passage to our destination. I still have a hard time buying that. The lay of this place would constitute a perfect place to set up an ambush in most places. Yet you claim this to be a safe path. Yeah, I must ask you to place your faith in the next humble servant, the humble service. For Hongwon is not like most places. Fine for now. Let us shut her eyes for a moment out of retorts, then look at Ishmael. Hey Ishmael, you must have a plan for this place handy, don't you? No, were you actually going to read it? No, why else would I ask? No, I mean, how can I not be caught off? After almost a whole year of getting brushed off by everyone I told to plead them to read the damn pamphlets. Like how, did no one think to? I will find my own tale if you're going to ramble on and on with your grievances. Okay, fine, here. Otis opened the pamphlet and began intently glaring at its text, as though she didn't want to miss even the smallest detail of information in there. Swishing clear on her knitted brows. What's gonna happen?
오늘 부끄럽지 않았습니다. 의의를 바로 세우는 데 일조하였으니
Okay.
내일은 더 떳떳이 살아갈 수 있겠군요.
Oh, it's only 4. Okay, so it's 12 then. There's only 12 ones. It's only 12. And all surprisingly easy.
활 배터리 교체 했었나?
Whoa, what has happened? All the while fighting hordes upon hordes of enemies. Boy, what happened to safe and easy passage? Explain this shite. It appears that the young master's radiant countenance was made known. I thought we were fighting more fucking clandestine passage. How come we're getting jumped by even more enemies? As I have said, the young master's radiant. I just try to give a little variation to your excuses. I cannot so easily say that he is being untruthful. Given that the disjointed allegiance of the enemy is attacking us, let us play with the pamphlet in our hands, clearly frustrated but unable to establish anything concrete. For people without a clear allegiance to attack a member of the J family, looks like everyone in the backstreets has been getting pretty plucky while I was away. Back then, I couldn't even catch a glimpse of their faces. They all been on their hands and knees whenever we walk past. What a wonderful change. Or shut that wonderful change up your ass, you bloody loon. How much longer till we get there? My kinsman is near. Calm your worries. Our guide seemed oddly calm now that he had at the beginning of this journey. Did he really get numb to all this violence that fast, or... Speaking of which, what is he's on? This term commonly used to refer to taverns and equivalent places of lodging in this region. Lodging, huh? Like a hotel? Ooh, it's gotta be pretty fancy then. Do they serve like complimentary snacks and drinks like the warp train? Not sure about that, but it seems to... The Kazans are also serve alcohol and food alongside their lodging services, maybe a meal in there. And phew, hopefully we won't be attacked in there like this. Residential non-aggression taboo. Any mutual acts of violence inside the residential building is within this particular area of Hongyan, the taboo. The two we may rest easy within them. I saw Foss' eyebrows twitch slightly as though she had heard the most ridiculous thing, but I guess I'll ask her about it later. Few men, I hope it was... Did I hear a crack? It's... If human. If it's for some kind of family hierarchy or family selection contest, why couldn't they save all this fighting until then? Because it would be too late. Late how? Every hierarchy candidate must have brought incredibly precious treasures with them. It would be nice if they believed that their own treasures is the most precious of them all, but everyone's going to track each other's way just to be sure. I see, just in case someone else brought something even better than their own. And might as well kill them too, for the sake of convenience. Is that how folks in your family think? What kind of line of thinking is that? Well, other families didn't seem too different from mine. Boo-hoo. Damn. Deep's apologies for intruding upon this most thrilling conversation, but, however, we may be inviting even further trouble by delving in here. With that guide pulled out of a watch to check the time, it will be nighttime soon. Face.
조용하지?
Music's nice at the hero like for a bit.
이렇게나 조용한 곳이 곧 아비게일의 사실.
Because no one's really, no one really is watching my stream right now.
태어난 곳은 돌아.
All I care about Contas. 82, 59, 87, 115. Alright, alright. Alright. Not good. Close, not bad. 31 to 85, 87. 10, 14, 5, 7, 9, 11. 9, 13, 13. 4, 10, 7. Damn. Ooh, 7, 11. Gotta fill both of them. Okay. 19. Lucky. 25.
이런 제압은 회사에겐 효율적일지는 몰라도 직원들의 희생.
Okay, shouldn't be that long until we get this over with.
제압 교육의 근거는 큰 거 아니야? 적당히 쉬엄쉬엄해도 괜찮을 텐데.
9, 14, 12, 12, 7, 20. Okay. 83. Stagger. 25, 106.
날 뛰어보라고.
78. 10.
여기까지 와서
And just finish him off.
하지 않았으면 좋겠어. 사람을 죽이고 싶지 않았다면 너희도 세피라도 처음부터 거래를 하지 말았어야지.
앞으로 하나. 이번에도 멋지게 해냈네. 엔젤라님에게 잔뜩 칭찬을 들었겠어?
Hold on.
당신의 노고는 이곳을 좀 더 멋지게 바꾸는 데 일조할 거예요. 같은 그럴듯해 보이지.
Now here we are. Is this the place? After running through alleyway after alleyway, after turning corner after corner, finally came across the side of several small buildings solidly built next to one another. At the center of them was a building lit with red lamp, adorned with the doorplate and with complicated looking letters scribbled all over it. This is shoddier than I expected. Hey, isn't this place a bit too trashy to house your precious young master? It is not our building. Please look this way to where our guest will be staying for the night. I knew it. I heard so much from Honglu, all about the splendor, all the... You thought it to his fingers, or right at a small warehouse of sorts, exterior painted in black. It looked smaller than even this to you fellas. Can we all even fit in there? Oh, hey, that place looks trashy as heck. Even for us, let alone your young master. This is the nearest Kazan we could afford to stay in, at least among the ones that I manage. Yet, its location in the back streets heavily limits the level of decency I can afford. My sincerest apologies, young master. Don't worry, we can sleep in decent places. Can't always sleep in decent places. It looks just fine for an overnight stay to me. I saw some bit on. But what did I do? Are you nuts? Can that thing even fit us all in there? Much did I wish to got the honor guest to the family mansion in Central Zone. However, the time... Oh, sweet wave. Doesn't it start at 3:13 at the morning? I feel like we got plenty of time to get there. Let's see, don't we have enough time to get to the family mansion? According to H-Corp Travel Guide, the central area is like an hour away from here. Has the honor guest traveled to the District 8 before? No, this is my first time here, but... Then one must ask how the honored guest claimed to have full understanding of the place. Merely by flipping through a book. When she hasn't, I had to contend with it in person. Innumerable, unpredictable changes away in the teeming jungle of buildings, the ever-shifting structures, the constant changing paths, ambushes from foolish yet vicious syndicates, or even offices of the back streets. Oh, we are beset up by danger from all sides. Such bold, flippant approach to predicting phenomenon. This place is to court death. Even a toddler must know that. One fails to disguise his utter sorrow at the inadequacy of her wisdom. Zip it to me, or we all think back to Ishmael back at the Great Lake. Zip it, Dante. But if this guide lists the path, does it not imply that it is technically possible to reach there in time? But it suddenly took a step. In her hand was the 8-court travel platform that Ishmael was talking about. I affect if our executive manager would lead us in your directional challenge. Instead, they would not be able to lead us to our destination for nightfall. Me, it's not appeared been discussed beforehand. Very well, allow me to speak freely without frills. My responsibility is to bring the honored guest to a central zone to ensure the young master's safety. It is indeed technically possible to reach the family's mansion for a night in the back streets. But it's technically, yeah, not even one iota of danger to the young master shall be permitted. The mission has been so graciously bestowed upon this humble servant. It's not to guide the young master with haste, but to guide him with the utmost safety. Oh, it said that engaging strategies and plans must remain wary of losing sight of their purpose to steadily forge on toward the family mansion and lure as entail to when these not amounts of silence salience would end is to wrongly prioritize the journey over the destination. Oh you. Wonderfully, truly impressive. You have all the qualities of someone I would trust my life with. When devising a stratagem, this is the most fitting attitude for those who generally wish the best for those who they serve. You're gonna start going along with him all of a sudden. I have misunderstood your intentions truly. Respect my art by carrying some of your choice words with my very own. And now my eye has been open to the honest loyalty that lies within your heart. The humble servant did not imagine in wildest dream that there would be someone who understands the fathoms of his loyalty. Since the young master has certainly gained an eye for allies and fellowships, that is why there's a cause for much relief in my heart. Listen to him. This one knows how to jest. They're basically best buds now, huh? I may have lost my cool for a moment there. Anyway, this man's streak's true. It is likely like that we will be exposed to attacks of similar NHG. We were continuing moving at this moment in time. She's just falling on his side now, isn't she? That's when I realized that she was looking in my direction. The exaggerated smile had all but completely faded from her face, replaced with an odd but dead serious expression. When our gazes locked, she nodded. She must be completely turned around by that guy. Is it the way by so long? I'm gonna quit and go work with this guy now. Thanks for everything. And for hotel, it is still much better than sleeping in outdoor tent barracks. We should be able to relieve ourselves from fatigue here before moving on. Did you not earlier insist on continuing our search for a better accommodation with the greatest vehemence, Miss Otis? Yeah, whatever, we'll get your point. Let's go inside. Where's my helmless self can get acceptance of this insufficient lodging with the deepest gratitude. All this serious talk, this man seemed oddly relieved to hear our decision as he brought this fist and palm together. Architect of today mustn't be judged with such haste merely by an opposition. The exterior, the interior may hold an ought to be surprised of, worry not. The audience surrendered. Why wouldn't it be nice? We made our way into the building. Ooh, there's actually not bad. It's clean in here. This presents a rather classical aesthetic. This landscape paintings lining the walls give a rather sophisticated mood. And it's more spacious inside than it looks from outside. That they use some kind of space expansion technology in here too. It seems the building only appears to want due to density of the structure and proximity. Though the door is now open, should my presence be required, I shall be in the small shed next to this building. Please do converse freely. Man smiled awkwardly and quietly excused himself as the excitement among the sitters began to grow. Meanwhile, Honglu stood a fair distance from the guide, quietly watching his face as he left. His expression was enigmatic, as if he were gazing upon clouds, the flowers, or even the wind. Yet there was no light in his eyes. It was as if they beheld a stomach cloud, a desolate field of wilted flowers, a howling, destructive gale. Do you suspect something, Honglu? So I decided to ask. No, not yet. I don't think. Huh? Not yet? So, big brother, something fell off to you too, huh? That's when we caught a familiar voice. Wow, Zichun, it's you. So soon, too. Yeah, I told you I had a feeling we'd be seeing each other again very soon. Have you been well, young master? I'm so glad to see that you're doing well, Mr. Well. Oh wait, don't tell me you're staying here too, Zichun. I'm the only one who ever set foot in a place like this, but I ran into some kind of large-scale construction on my way back here to the family mansion. I had to come in through the back streets. So we weren't the only ones troubled by that random construction site. Ooh, how to thee. Yeah. Now, if I don't look, then Zichun's face was immediately replaced by that of alarm. But did she lose her memories again? Is she with you? No, Don Quixote's the same as always. Ahem. But she looks like such an airhead. Young Zichun, what does accompany me to the lodge but a moment, that we may share a moment of catching up? Oh yeah, actually, let's do that. Hold on. Zichun seemed to hesitate for a moment, staring at Don Quixote after hearing that memories were intact. Before walking right up to her, I like that idea. Shall we? Why don't you give a girlfriend a room for me to stay in while I talk some things out with her? What, you wanted to do some catching up, right? This, Manager Esquire. Loss of critical personnel may be cause for disciplinary action, Doctor. I don't think there's anything wrong with making friends, though. Looks like Zichun really likes Don Quixote. She's counting not to tease her like that. It's not Don Quixote she likes, she's really just wants Don Quixote as far as she saw back then. Well, lady, this is hardly the appropriate place for. Fine, I'll try again later. Go get some sleep. I'm heading in too. Zichun sighed with a bit of disappointment before heading into the lobby. Well, let's all head inside now. So I and the rest of the sinners followed her into the lodging. Give me a second, yeah? Alright, I'm back. Okay. What's we're doing? Everyone is busy looking around and commenting on various things in our lodging. But Sinclair appeared to be the most anxious out of them all. Sinclair. Something in here stands out like an ideal picture. Did you call? I missed that joke you sing. That's not what I'm not. Anyway, I'm not the only one who feels like something stands out like a sore thumb from the whole picture. Oh yeah, glad you brought that up. I didn't say anything because I thought it was just me. Gotcha. So what's so off about this place? Isn't it obvious? Where's all this complicated snacks go? What's this weird mystery table at the center of the room? Oh, that is kind of weird though. What's the table doing here though? It's exaggerated because they're quite pleasant to behold. So is it any better? It's just... What the hell is this? Is that hideous table? Bubbles sparkled by this particular unsightly piece of indoor furniture. Calmed was somewhat once ever made it inside the building. Of course, no one is able to discern the real purpose of that table yet. Every step on the floor leaves black residue on the shoes. Not only the floor touching the walls leaves an unidentified black substance on one's fingers. Not to mention how the walls ripple in odd fashion. What could possibly be the construction of this structure? Well, my guess is that maybe staff has been slacking. Maybe, but why does everyone think everything's so neatly organized if that's the case? I'm enough to see the established tell where the place has gone. Wow, how to tidy up. It appears that each room is furnished with a bed. While this is far from optimal, executive manager, we may be able to rest here. I guess they really don't have the time to clean up. Is Zazie Chun the last person to walk in after taking her time to examine the area outside the lobby? Stared blankly around the room with an aghast expression. I'm not even sure what to say to this ridiculous negligence. It found her room after leaving the scathing remark. So ain't it first time we're sauntering into some shady business, right? In it. Let's just cross that bridge when we come to it, yeah? I guess anyone could tell that there was something definitely wrong about that guy. Sisters, including Heath, have already slumped to the floor. I don't know how to say that. Virtually expressing their desire to rest with a collective sigh of exhaustion. Well, it is pretty weird, but at least we have a roof over our heads. In that case, Dante, perhaps this is maybe a time to announce today's close of business. I never made this announcement outside the bus before. Oh, right. I hereby confirm today's close of the business for the sinners. Just a thank you, Kalani. Starting now, you will all be given a maximum of 12 hours to partake in sleep and rest. The duration of subject to change. Have a good night. As soon as you finish, the sinners each began to rest on their own ways. Some stumbling into the rooms, while others lingered to speculate over the bizarre table at the center of the room. Save for Otis, that is. Got anything to say, Otis? Yes, it's the manager. It's about a guy, Sing Tao. Oh, you knew best friend earlier? Seems like you guys were getting pretty along. Why, what? So, that is simply unfair. Do you not see the signal I gave you earlier? What signal? Oh, you mean when you nodded slightly in my direction? Indeed, that is an individual. Has an informative advantage over us when it comes to the locale. Regardless of how the cases we came up with were, he would have been able to explain them away using his familiarity with the region. I thought as a party without information disadvantage, it would be wise to feign a camaraderie and friendship with and go along with the plans and try to jiggle as much intel as possible. Oh, it's gonna be maintenance in like a few hours, like half an hour. Kinda forgot about that. Well, I might as well end stream early. But after I get through this, I thought as the party with an informational disadvantage would be wise to feign a camaraderie and friendship with the individual go along with the plans while trying to dig out as much intel as possible. I seriously thought that suspicion guy was totally won you over. Sector manager, I've been in this business for many years. How could you even imagine that I would be fooled by an amateur spy who's so overtly suspicious? It's nothing. Otis' disappointment was palpable, but she stopped herself as though she remembered that there were more important matters at hand. Well, it is certain as to how long the individual will be accompanying us. It would be reasonable to speculate that he would approach the Limbus Company, Limbus LCCB with the explicit purpose of limiting Honglu Jia about you. I resent that it was pilot, the inexperienced Greenhorn, who somehow conveniently came across a connection. As another evidence supporting this suspicion, and that is also true. Floss also has the information to share. Floss joined the conversation after listening to us discuss over some time. A review over every known taboo has failed to identify as he called one residential non-aggression taboo that is universally prohibits acts of violence within residential areas. Then that also has to be. It's too early to come to conclusions regarding that matter. It appeared that this area, Hongwan, has taboos that change depending on your location within its territory. However, considering every other circumstantial evidence, we can come to a conclusion that he was most likely lying to us. The assessment cannot be denied. In that case, we must already be deep within the enemy's machinations. The constant stream of random assailants we faced earlier was also most likely was part of the plan. It'll be up in 2 hours RC, then it's the Limbus Company check and mark. I don't know if you already did that. Shouldn't. I don't know. Maybe very well that this building itself is also a trap. We lack intelligence about this particular batteries to be certain. However, we do have one minor advantage. It seems that they have severely underestimated our capabilities, given the low caliber of the assailants that decided to send us after. One thing we can capitalize on is that the mutual lack of intel. Keep our guard up and alert. We should be able to navigate our way out of this trap. Executive manager. Okay, I get it now. I'm sorry about the misunderstanding. Honestly, I didn't know who or what to trust. I would appreciate it if you could trust me fully next time. Would have bowed politely and returned to her room. Foss and I chatted a little more about King Tao and his plans, but a discussion ended without bearing much fruit. Okay, it's time to end the stream now. Next stream will be about Contour. Like actually this time, not like last stream. Goodbye.